Gyökeres is not scoring goals. Martinelli is just too erratic. Trossard is, but, sporadic. Semenyo buries them. Whether you believe in Arteta or not, Semenyo buries them.
Do you reckon on that game? Yeah, he didn't celebrate, but that's because it was just an equaliser. This is just not enough. We need to go more. We need to get back and actually win the game. That could be a key reason why he didn't actually celebrate. Do you reckon that Mikel Arteta actually tried to tap him up? And look, I want to buy you.
Guehi, outside of Arsenal FC, has been the best centre-back this season. Why would he be perfect for us, Mark? Up until a couple of games ago, they had the second best defensive record in the Premier League. Might still do, actually. He has been the absolute cornerstone over it. You need a guy that's going to be able to recover the ball. No one does it better in the league.
What does Marc Guehi do? Does he fit in? If I was him, I'll be a little bit concerned. I'll be thinking I could also get injured. Maybe the training is too rigorous. Maybe, Mikel Arteta is too demanding.
Guys, as we head into the new year, we are heading into the January transfer window. Today, we're going to talk to you about two players Arsenal must go after if they're serious about winning the title this year. Marky Mark, I'm going to kick it off with Antoine Semenyo. But guys, stay tuned because the second one I'm going to talk to you about has got legs, serious legs, and it should be and must be a key target for us this January. No ifs, no buts. By the way, guys, if you are tuned in and you know who you are, regulars, please make sure you like and subscribe. Really helps our video out. Mark, Antoine Semenyo, Bournemouth. All the noise is that he is going to be a Man City player come January. But reports already have suggested by Ornstein he's as it's not news, right? We all know he's a gooner. He's a massive Arsenal fan. If Arsenal were in the race, he'd want to join us. Now, we spoke about this last week. I got a lot of flack in the comments saying, he's come out. He said he wants to join Man City with deluded Arsenal fan. Yeah, he wants to join City because Arsenal are not in the race. But if Arsenal were in the race, you can bet your bottom dollar he'd want to join us because he's a massive Arsenal fan and we should be a massive Semenyo fan. Here's why. 9 goals, 3 assists, Mark. And I watch Martinelli, and I'm a Martinelli fan. I watch him against Brighton. He's got the chance to bury the game and settle the nerves at the Emirates because it was nervy against Brighton for all the control we had. Open goal, Saka does all the work and he blasts it over the bar. Semenyo buries that. That is just those two contrasting pictures is exactly why we need Semenyo if we want to win this title. What do you think?
Look, Semenyo's name over the past month has been linked with pretty much everyone. It actually first started with Chelsea. Then there was rumours, then that's been squashed within like a few hours. Then there was rumours he was going to go to Liverpool. Then the latest news is that he is firmly on Manchester City's radar and they could really purchase him and sign him in the January. That's why they're really looking to offload Oscar Bob, because if Semenyo signs for Man City, Oscar Bob is gone. Now, in regards to Arsenal, right, do you need him? First and foremost, who have you got on the left? You've got Trossard, you've got Martinelli, and then that's it. Do you need him?
Yeah, 100% we need him. Look, dude, Trossard, Martinelli on the left. Eze sometimes plays out there, but he's not a left winger. And then you've got Madueke as cover out there. The game changer is Semenyo. Mark, the bit that moves the needle. And before you kick on, no, go on. No, tell me. Actually,
you said, look, you've said that about Eze. Yeah, Eze was a big fish in a small pond at Crystal Palace. He's come to Arsenal with all this excitement. He's going to be a game changer. Even you and I have said it. But you know what? Because under Mikel Arteta, he's been below average. This is what happens when players like that, with huge amount of potential, that's doing extremely well, they go to crap teams like Arsenal and they just flop. How
right,
do
mate.
you know this is not going to happen to Semenyo? Do you really think Mikel Arteta's going to be able to get the best out of him, just like he did with Eze?
Well, Mark, the thing is, your argument falls flat because Arteta gets the best out of pretty much everyone in the squad, bar a couple of players. So I would say
No, he doesn't. But I can go through that. That's a conversation for another point. But all right, no problem at all.
So guys,
No.
let us know if you agree or disagree.
Jorginho came crap. Havertz came crap. I can keep going, bro. No worries.
Havertz was crap at Chelsea, mate. He's been better at us. Listen.
He hasn't. That's bullshit.
Listen, what do you want to talk about? Shall we talk about it or not? I don't mind. We can get into it. No, I would say Semenyo moves the needle because if you look at his XG, Mark, Arsenal create chances, and this is the point. We create a lot of chances, and for all the chances we have created in the last 4 games, no one's burying them. There's no clear. Look, Gyökeres is not scoring goals. Martinelli is just too erratic. If Trossard is not on it from the start, he labours a bit. He probably needs 3 or 4 chances to score a goal, and he's probably more clinical than the rest of them out there on the left wing. So Gyökeres isn't scoring goals. Trossard is, but, sporadic. Martinelli is not scoring goals in the Premier League. And yet Semenyo, against a lower XG, has put away 9 and added 3 assists. The chances we're creating, Semenyo buries them. Whether you believe in Arteta or not, Semenyo buries them. This is why it's so important to not let City, because it looks like City are going to get him, go in and do what you did with Eze against Spurs when Spurs thought they're signing. Go and get him. You know he wants to join us. This guy will get us the goals that we will need come the end of May. They'll be vital. And if he's scoring them for Man City, we're in deep trouble. Mark, got to move on. But, guys, let us know your thoughts. Arsenal fans, let us know your thoughts on Semenyo. You guys that have been giving me flack in the comments, I want to hear from you guys as well. The next player I want to talk to you about, Mark, is Marc Guehi. I'm going to just give you the backdrop on this, right? So the speculation around Marc Guehi intensified when we played Palace and he didn't celebrate his goal in the Carabao Cup, if you remember a few days ago.
I do.
Then you see all the players chatting to him at the end, and even Arteta comes over and shakes his hand. All of this is fueling to speculation. Yeah, exactly. Look, speculation was there before, Mark. It only intensified this. He didn't celebrate. He was talking to players, and you know what they do now because every camera's always watching. They're covering their face, right? Covering their mouth to make sure they can speak without getting lip read. Marc Guehi to Arsenal is a must for me.
Really?
And and I'll tell you why.
Because you've got so many defenders. You've got Ngapi, you've got Ben White, you've got Saliba, you've got Gabriel, you've got Mosquera. You've got so many centre backs. That's where you think you need to strengthen. Yeah, go on. Explain.
We do. And the reason why we need Marc Guehi is this trend that we have is not bad luck. And the trend I'm talking about is the number of injuries, which is now over 100 since you pointed it out, since the start of last season and counting. Don't forget, Calafiori went down in the warm-up against Brighton, right? And, you laugh because it's all you can do, otherwise you'll end up crying. Marc Guehi wouldn't be coming in as backup, Mark, because we have to accept the stark reality that no one can stay fit for a long period of time in this side. Maybe it's the way we train, maybe it's the intensity we play with, maybe it's to do with our system. But Marc Guehi comes in and he adds something to this Arsenal team because Saliba and Gabriel, as you've seen already this season, aren't going to stay fit throughout the whole season.
And last season.
Correct? Right? So if that's the case, then surely we have to accept as Arsenal fans, and I'm talking about myself here, I know you're Chelsea, but as Arsenal fans, and I'm looking at Arsenal fans now, we have to accept the stark reality. This isn't bad luck. We are going to get injuries throughout this season. They continue. The trend is continuing. And if that is the case, and Saliba and Gabriel can't stay fit, Marc Guehi, outside of Arsenal FC, has been the best centre-back this season. Why would he be perfect for us, Mark? He's played up until very recently for the second best defence in the league. And he's not playing at one of the big boys. He's playing at Crystal Palace, with all due respect to Crystal Palace. He is playing for a side that's not in the traditional big six. Up until a couple of games ago, they had the second best defensive record in the Premier League. They might still do, actually. I need to double check that. But he has been the absolute cornerstone over it. Now, Mark, why would he fit this Arsenal side? I hear you asking me. Great question. He has over 6 recoveries per game. Why is that important? It means that when you join a high pressing team like Arsenal, there is going to be space in behind. We have been caught out at times, and you need a guy that's going to be able to recover the ball. No one does it better in the league than Marc Guehi this season. No one.
Do you?
And I mean,
do you
no
think?
one.
Fair enough. Look, he's definitely one of the best defenders in the Premier League. That's why he was linked with Barcelona. They're now not in for him because he commands too high wages. But Bayern Munich are still in for him. Manchester City are still in for him. And it looks like his most likely destination is going to be Liverpool. Right? But there's no reason why he wouldn't go to Arsenal. But let me ask you, do you reckon on that game where he scored the equalizer, yeah, he didn't celebrate. Yeah, but that's because it was just an equalizer and he probably wanted, he probably set a really high standard for himself. Like, this is just not enough. We need to go more. We need to get back and actually win the game. That could be a key reason why he didn't actually celebrate. But do you actually think, at the end of the game, when he was, talking to all the Arsenal players, Mikel Arteta come over to him, do you reckon that Mikel Arteta actually tried to tap him up, going, look, I want to buy you. Yeah, I'm going to put a bid in for you next month. What are you saying? Yeah, do you reckon that's what he said?
It wouldn't be surprising to me, to be honest with you. Why would it? I mean, what reason has Arteta got to go over and shake his hand, right? And what reason have all the Arsenal players? Now, look, he did play a good game. He scored a goal.
Well done.
Scored a vital goal. Yeah, he could do. Yeah, that's fair, Mark. And you could make the case that the Arsenal players are talking to him, especially the boys that, are in the England setup. Talking to him makes sense because they know Marc Guehi from the England setup.
There you go.
But I do think there's no smoke without fire. And I do think Guehi, by the way, the amount of interceptions he makes as well, the guy is a supreme all-round defender. I think he'll fit us perfectly, which is why I think, and if I can see that, Arteta can see that. And that for me is key. That would be key, that he can see it, and actually Guehi would slot in, whether it's next to Gabby, whether it's next to Saliba in the games that we need it. We want to win this title, Mark. We want to win the Champions League or go deep. You need players like Marc Guehi.
Yep, 100%. Look, all that being said, I totally agree with everything that you actually said. Yeah, you guys are very injury prone. You're picking up injuries pretty much every single game. For me, though, it's a no-brainer for Arsenal because Liverpool almost clutched him last summer for 35 million. His contract expires with Crystal Palace at the end of this season. If you go in for him, he's only going to cost like 25, 30 million maximum.
Go for him then. Mark, go for him. And also, he lives in Palace, mate. And where would you rather live, London or Liverpool?
London.
What? Just not even close. He wants to go. Does he want Marc Guehi? Do you want to go up to Liverpool and start twerking lessons with Virgil van Dijk and Konate? Or do you want to join the best defence in the league and add to it?
Look, before we wrap this up, I'll ask you super quickly. Let's say, you sign Marc Guehi, William Saliba and Gabriel, who are been touted as the best defenders in the world when they're fit this season. And understandably, you've got this impenetrable defence sort of quote hovering around you guys. And understandably, they're both fit. What does Marc Guehi do? Does he fit in? Are you just going to play in the cup games? Or what would happen? Because if I was him, I'll be a little bit concerned. I'll be thinking, these guys are always getting injured, but I could also get injured. Maybe the training is too rigorous. Maybe, Mikel Arteta is too demanding. And he could have it that I might start getting injured as well. But even if he doesn't, and you have all three fit, and he's on the bench, do you think an England starting international, a defender wanted by some of the biggest clubs in club world football, is going to be happy sitting on the bench? Because that is a very likely scenario.
It's a great question. I think if I'm Marc Guehi, I'm going in there and going, Gabby and Saliba aren't better than me. No, I think Gabby and Saliba are. But here's my point: he's got to go in with that attitude and think,
Fair.
I can displace Saliba here. And if Saliba has a wobble, which he has been inclined to, especially when Big Gabby's not next to him, there's no reason why Marc Guehi can't up the level of all three. This is the beauty of competition, right? Because he comes in and suddenly everyone's looking behind their back because Guehi's no mug. Yeah, and that you would be surprised if he displaced Saliba. Look, I would be a little bit because I think Saliba's top jaw, but if it only takes a couple of games with bad form before Guehi's sitting there going, "Boss, get me in."
Yeah. No, totally understand. And I think that there's also another possibility while you're looking at him. You could just be like Mikel Arteta could just be planning for the future. There's still a lot of heavy reports with Saliba being linked to Real Madrid. Saliba going to Real Madrid in the summer could be a huge possibility. And it's better to find a suitable replacement in the form of Marc Guehi right now while you can get him on the cheap, because quality defenders are far and few to be found. They're not available. Just like strikers, especially at a cut price of 25-30 million for a quality player like Marc Guehi, Mikel Arteta could just be preparing for the future and the possible departure of William Saliba. Guys, let us know in the comments down below about the transfers. If you're an Arsenal fan, do you want to see Semenyo? Do you reckon that's going to be an upgrade to your current team? Do you think that you need the addition of Marc Guehi to your back line, to your squad? Let us know in the comments down below. As my guy said already, if you haven't already subscribed, please make sure your fine self does that. And if you can like the video, it helps reach more people. Click this video right here and we'll see you lot in the next one. Thanks for watching.